in our indigenous world, fire represents relationship. To continue leading that fire at all times, keep it going. Because when we talk about our relationships to ourselves and to each other, and in the relationship to the air, and the relationship to the water, and relationship to the land around us, and the trees, and everything else that's connected to us, that fire symbolizes the beginning of life.
5 years ago, when our strategic plan at WJS was being formed, one of the pillars of the plan was the truth and reconciliation. There's probably 3 different facets inside our organization. We can look at how do we support employees in their own personal journey of reconciliation. Then there's the service focus, where we say, how do we look at our services? How do we integrate cultural practice? And then there's organizationally, what do we need to look at? What are we doing with a cultural bias that we're not even aware of?
I thank WJS for always helping me in understanding the pain, the hardship that my people live with. And I'm very grateful to WJS for understanding and allowing me to adapt some of our teachings, my own personal teachings, and also that they understand that my people are hurting and that they can heal, and that there is hope, and the hope is here, and that is what we're doing, one day at a time.
Truth and reconciliation is possible because if people believe in a cause, it only takes one person to make a change. WJS has come a long ways. I think the image that they're creating is that they want themselves to be doing the work constructively. Work with community, work with chief and council, work with the people that are directly, in connection to community.
I felt I was quite well informed before the truth and reconciliation, but I realized that I had so much learning to do. The stories of some of the survivors of the residential schools really impacted me in understanding how this multi-generational trauma was impacting the children that I was working with.
The land here is kind of cold, but it's beautiful. I think the warmth is around all of you being here with us. And it feels great just to talk about what we're really needing to look at in the direction of our company and looking at truth and reconciliation. Your voices here are really powerful. Your ideas and how you work with our people is incredible.
I do work with families. I work clinically with them, doing counseling and therapy, and then I support our staff. Our staff is a little family. We feel deeply together, and we work on working with families to heal, and we heal ourselves at the same time. So that's why I'm honored to be here today.
I think for myself, truth and reconciliation means much more than just recognizing the atrocities from the past. It means moving beyond that and creating an inclusive environment that involves Indigenous peoples in decision making, in policy making, in further developing our programs and services. And I think WJS is moving that way and recognizing the need for that.
I'm going to talk about a little bit of my own history. I lost my parents, my dad when I was 7, my mom when I was 8. So I was orphaned at 8 years old. And when I was in care, I wasn't given an opportunity to be close to our people. And when I was in those homes, there was no opportunity for anybody to give me any sense of love. Nobody put their arm around me and made me feel good. And because I was Indigenous back then, it was easy for them to call me an Indian and savage and all the things that they did in the 50s and 60s. So when we talk to our youth today, those are the conversations I sit with them when they come into the room the first time. And I say, you're going to be all right. You're going to get lonely sometimes. You're going to feel hurt and you're going to be angry. But don't ever be afraid to use your voice, because your truth is more powerful than I am.
I hope for a future where no Indigenous child has to grow up with shame, and that they're connected to their culture and to their families and to the relationship with the land. I hope for a future that doesn't have the discrimination in it that we've had to grow up with.
We are going to begin to raise generations of Indigenous children who are going to understand their history, going to embrace their culture, going to live healthier lives and want healthier lives for themselves and for the next generation.
It's not just about truth and reconciliation that we talk about as a subject or on the agenda item, but it's a way of being. But I do believe that there needs to be a genuine desire for reconciliation. And it is possible if everybody who is coming along the journey is open and willing to be gracious with one another and really focus on the resilience of the Indigenous people.
When you embrace who you are, where you come from, that is the healing. That's where it starts. When I took my addictions counseling at Nietzsche, I learned a lot of my teachings there. I hold my head up high now, all my white hair and all, and I'm happy. And I thank everyone here for listening to me. Thank you. I just wanted to share that.